and welcome back to Keep Moving with the Senior Center. I'm Amy Beck, the Director of Senior Services, and I have Jessica Mignault, who's the Assistant Director of Senior Services here in Hopkinton. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning, Amy. How are you today?
You know what? I'm doing great. We are busy as usual here at the Senior Center, and I know that we're going to fill you in on a little bit of that. But just the initial housekeeping of our day is the Senior Center is open. We are open to the public, our normal hours, Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 4, and Fridays, 8:30 to 2. So if you're interested in coming down and getting involved in any of our programs, which you may have seen on your newsletter, I flashed this up here for you. Check out our newsletter. You probably are receiving it in your mailbox. If not, you can go online to our website and get it, or you can come in and pick up a hard copy as well. But, you know, we've got so many programs and we are back up and running. So everything we had prior to COVID, we are doing now. If you have any questions or if you are interested in any of our programs, please give us a call at 508-497-9730. Again, you know, any questions that you have, or if you need any assistance, give us a call. We are all back. All our programs are running, and we look forward to seeing you here. That said, Jessica, what is it? I think I asked last time what you're interested in and excited about the fall. And I know here we are, it is the end of October. How did we get there? Or halfway through at least. And I'm kind of like surprised, but is there anything special that you've been excited about or looking forward to this fall?
So actually, I have been looking forward to the leaves changing colors and getting to enjoy the fall foliage. However, these leaves are either being stubborn and not turning, or they're just on the ground. I'm not getting to see a lot of that New England fall foliage. So I'm fingers crossed that I will get to see some of that before snow.
Well, you know, it comes and goes so quickly sometimes. So there's no question.
That is right.
So, you know, we have talked in the past about things that are upcoming, and we have a great guest that we will introduce shortly. But, you know, we are, like I said, back and up and running, and the fall brings a lot of things for us. And one of the things that we talked about last week, and we will mention again later, is fuel assistance. But let's meet our guest and have a chance to chat with her, and we'll fill you in on the other things happening here at the Senior Center. So this morning we have Alice Rotford, who is our Shine counselor in Hopkinton. And Shine stands for Serving the Health Insurance Needs of Everyone. And so if you have questions and stuff like that, and we're going to find out a little more of what she does, you know, give us a call, because Alice is here to answer questions and to help you choose plans, and let's get into it. So good morning, Alice. Welcome to Keep Moving with the Senior Center.
Good morning. It's nice to be here, sort of virtually.
Well, you know, it's always virtual. I know, and we're so glad to have you here. I know that you've met with people virtually, and I think, so before I get into that, could you tell us a little bit about what you do as a Shine counselor, and what a Shine counselor and how they can help, you know, our seniors and people in Hopkinton?
I will do my best, and I will be using a few notes so I don't leave out anything important. But as you've already said, I'm Alice Rotford, and I've actually been doing this since about 2012, almost entirely at Hopkinton, which is a fabulous setup. No question about that, with my own private office there when it's not virtual. I'm actually trained and certified statewide. It comes under the umbrella of the Office of Elder Affairs. And we have monthly meetings to the tune of 2 hours and annual 4 and 5 hours. So we keep up to date on Medicare. And when you said it's serving the health insurance needs of everyone means everyone on Medicare. Mm-hmm. They might have other supplementary things as well, but generally Medicare is the the core that we're trained for and have some expertise in helping people with. So what happens is that either people are about to become eligible for Medicare, which for most people is age 65, earlier if there's a disability involved. And the other oftentimes that we see people is when they are leaving a place of employment, and they're losing their insurance completely from employment, or they might end up with some kind of an employer supplementary package, but still need some guidance as to how that compares to what Medicare has to offer. So along with Medicare, I think I'll get a little more into this later, there are other benefits that if you're already on Medicare, we can assist to make sure that you're getting all the benefits out of the other programs that kind of work as ancillary to Medicare. Amy, you had the acronym exactly right. Most people have that, very many variations of that, serving the healthcare needs of everyone. So I think the general issues that we see people for, as I started, I think, to explain, was one, when somebody's turning 65. So 3 months before, up to 3 months before they become eligible, they can check in with Medicare. I mean, if they're using my services, I could certainly help. Signing up for Medicare and preferably opening up a Medicare.gov account. If they don't have the computer or don't use the computer, we can absolutely still help set up an account and access it for them and compare plans as they need things looked at. So computer is not mandatory at all. And even if you have one, you may not know how to use it, and that's also where we can be of help. So again, turning 65 is the one. The other is significant right now is this open enrollment period, which runs every year from October 15th to December 7th. That is a time when you're already on Medicare and can make any kind of changes. Either the prescription drug plan isn't working, you want to just examine what the other options are, whether you're looking at something called a supplementary plan, which I can explain. But everything's up for grabs during the open enrollment. So any discontent with this would be the time to come and look. And I think all the centers certainly in Metro West, set up appointment times and work with each other to make sure that everybody gets covered. Sometimes I'm doing all phone now, but sometimes I do extra phone as well. And it's not just during the open enrollment. I see people year round. On Tuesday mornings, I have appointments. And if there needs to be follow-up, there's follow-up. It works pretty congenially with whatever anybody kind of needs. So did you have another specific question before I?
Well, I just want to clarify. So if you're 3 months before you turn 65 and you are ready to get into Medicare, you can make an appointment. But that's to start a new plan or to get into the plan. And that can happen at any time during the year. But if you're currently on Medicare, this is the time that you can make changes, this October 15th to December 7th. So, but the other question I have along those lines, so if you are currently a Medicare recipient and you want to explore your options or see if there's any changes that you need to make, this window of October 15th to December 7th is the time to do it.
That is absolutely the time across the board. There are other exceptions some people might be eligible for other times during the year, depending upon certainly a move. If you're in another area that may have other options, that's one way that you might. There are sometimes plans that are called 5-star plans, which means you can opt into them an additional time during the year and not wait for open enrollment. Right now, there's only Tufts is offering that in their management plans and their HMO type and PPO type of plans. And stop me if the acronyms need further explanation.
I think people know PPO is a what for everybody, for someone who may
Preferred
not.
provider, it's preferred, so it's if you're in, that's part of Medicare Advantage. Well, I don't know, if I can explain the ways people get Medicare, maybe this is for people who might just be starting. You can get what's called Original Medicare, which is Part A, which pays for hospitalizations, and Part B, which pays for all your outpatient type of care. You go to the doctor, you go to PT, OT, those types of things in the community. That's where Part B kicks in.
So the good news is if you have questions about Part A, Part B, the whole process, you can make an appointment at any point during the year with Alice here, and you'd call the senior center and we'd set up an appointment time with Alice. If you're, and again, I'll reiterate this, if you're trying to make changes to your current plans, now's the time to do it. Now's the time to come in.
October 15th to December 7th, every year, every plan is up for potential review and change if necessary. Yes, I know that should be the focus because that's where we are right now, and it started last Friday, I guess. So yeah, as far as other changes, the open enrollment is critical, absolutely. But there are people in certain other programs affiliated with Medicare where they may get extra help paying for it, and going through open enrollment, they can learn more about what those options might be. They might be able to get extra help paying for their medications. They may have extra opportunity to change things during the year. And most of those are income based. So that's another thing that we are trained to do and have the information available to review an income, look at if somebody can provide their income level. We could say, well, then you'd probably be eligible for this, and this is what you would have to do, and so forth down the line. And many people don't necessarily know or take advantage of some of those without checking with us. Go ahead.
No, and I just wanted to say also, so anytime someone has these questions and they want to talk to, is there a cost to them? Because, we all know everything seems to have a fee these days.
Completely volunteer. All of us are volunteers and have all this extensive training year round. There is no cost. Thank you is always nice, but absolutely no cost whatsoever. So yeah, go ahead. Were you going to follow up with something or?
So if somebody makes an appointment with you, and right now those appointments are being virtual, what should they have with them for that appointment? Is there stuff they need to provide you ahead of time? How can they best be prepared for you to help them?
That is a great question because that rarely happens. But first of all, their Medicare card, which has their Medicare number, and it has the effective dates of when they started Part A and Part B. So pretty much to get any information and to share any information, we need to access the program through that information. So yes, their Medicare card, mostly everything they know, like their date of birth. If they can come provided with some idea of their income, their monthly income, so we can see what other benefits might be they might be able to access. Certainly what kind of insurance they're presently on, what the names of those insurances are, if they have them. If they have any benefit through an employer, either, that they have a supplementary piece or that they're still working even. They're on Medicare, they're still working. They're getting some of insurance through their employer, but sometimes they still need to have Medicare A and B, even though they have some insurance through the employer. So I think essentially it's their Medicare number, if they've already signed up for a Medicare account of their own, mymedicare.gov, then what that password and username is to access that account. And if they don't, I help people set up those accounts. So that's not a problem, even when they forget their password or forget their username. Most common, we can still usually get through and make the comparisons.
Well, if everyone's like me, remembering those passwords is really tough. So I understand that one. Um, and I want to reiterate this and confirm this with you actually, but you're not paid by a certain company. Like you say, you're a volunteer, but you're not pushing one plan or another. It is, this is an unbiased assistance in finding the correct plan for you. We all we get inundated at home with mailings that tell us this is the best way to go with us, we're the best. But you can actually cut through a lot of that stuff and help people. So if you're getting confused by what you're receiving in the mail, or you've been inundated with different health plans and you're not sure where to go, Alice is the perfect contact because she can help you wade through that and see. I'm correct in saying this, am I not?
Almost, well, not almost every, but many, many calls start with exactly that premise. I saw something on television or I got some mail and looks great, but so yeah, absolutely. Because first of all, I can identify what kind of insurance. Most people look at it and they're not sure whether is it about drugs or is it supplementary or what is it. So I can figure that out and then see whether in fact it has any benefit for them. I mean, most of the time, that's not the case. Nobody is paying for my services. Once I retired from my work at Mass General Hospital, I trained for this, and this is what I do. If there's no charge, and nobody is supplying any background money, just the training that's provided by the state, actually. So yeah, as all that mail and telephone calls about all these plans. And in fact, this year for Medicare Advantage, which are the plans where you're in a network of providers, there are 5 new plans. So I'm sure people are getting overwhelmed with even more mail than usual because of all these new plans. But they promise a lot, and some of them are good for a lot of people, but certainly not all. So checking is very important.
And I want to say, I would imagine this, you've probably told people as well, you're not to be giving any of your private information out to people on the phone, that Alice is very private with your information. She doesn't take it any place else, that if you're having to give your cards to her, it's different. So over the phone, please be aware that you don't want to be giving out Social Security numbers, Medicare numbers. Unfortunately, there's all these scams, and I don't know, Alice, whether you could speak to them or not, but please be aware of that.
I can speak to people that have been scammed, for sure. The banks, Medicare, Social Security, they are never going to ask you to provide any of that information. So if somebody's calling and they sound like they know exactly who you are and what you need, don't believe it. If you make a call to Medicare, or if you make a call to Social Security, you know who you're talking to. But somebody's calling you and pretending to look out for your best interests, I do not believe it. Check it out yourself and do not give out any of those numbers. Absolutely. Yeah. That is an ongoing problem. Yeah. So you haven't, go ahead. What are you going to
I
say?
was just gonna ask, so if somebody thinks that they like the plan they're in right now, they think that it works for them, and they want to stay in that plan, is it still worthwhile for them to meet with the Shine counselor and review the information, or should they say, don't worry about it, or is it worthwhile for them to still reach out to you?
It could go either way, but I would say it's better to check because they may be very satisfied right up to December 31st. And if they don't check and they're not sure whether something has changed for next year's plan. We've had examples of some of the very same plans either changing names, dropping out of the program, changing the list of drugs that they cover, changing the quantities of the drugs they cover. So it's always, if at all possible, to check. And it may turn out that what they're on is the best, and then there's nothing else to do because it just continues, and nothing further needs to be done. But absolutely, it's been a huge cost saving for quite a few people when they realize there are plans that are better and less expensive. So it's worth the time.
So Alice, you bring up a good point. So if people have certain medications, you're able to check them against plans to see how they're covered? Is that what you were saying?
Right. I get into their Medicare account with their help and guidance. And usually the plan already has the drugs that they've been buying because it's already there. So number one, I check with them, is this accurate? And if it's accurate, then we go ahead and look at the plans and whether all their drugs are on a particular plan and compare it one premium against another premium, the specific costs of the individual drugs against whether going to the local drugstore is, and which one is better than maybe mail order and vice versa. So all of that detail is really what our trading is focused on. And we're more than happy to do that from, just from setting up the account all the way through to making the actual enrollment with them, if that's what they need to do.
And how long are the appointments? I guess that's helpful to know when people are making their plans.
Well, I think Lisa now is pretty much setting them up for 1 hour. And if it's a couple, preferably to have 1 hour each, unless there's something, just a simple question, which there usually never is a simple question. So yeah, during the year, when there was less intensity of appointments, I was stretching it to 1.5 hours if need be. But yeah, generally an hour.
Well, and that's the important thing. So right now, it's open enrollment. So people need to be looking at their options and then what they have and making sure that all fits. So that's where appointments now. And then in the future, as the years progress or as they come into retirement and start to take Medicare benefits, then that's something also that you can make appointments for with Alice. So
all year long, except for a few weeks during the year, Tuesday mornings at Hopkinton Senior Center, you're making appointments for people. And it is pretty much filled up a good part of the year. I mean, there are days when it's lighter, but people are turning 65 all year long. Some people end up on disability all year long. Some people get new medications that are a problem and need help, trying to figure out if are there ways of reducing the cost. All of that happens year round. They retire. That's another option for getting up onto Medicare. So there's, yes.
So Jessica, I think you're going to share with everyone also, if our appointments here with Alice fill up, which I believe they're getting close if they've not already done, there's still ways to get assistance. And so Jessica, do you want to give that information?
Yes. So actually, I believe I checked just today, and I believe we are full for Alice. There may be 1 or 2 open appointments if things change, but you can still call us and we can give you the information. We have a calendar so that we can view other senior centers to see what senior centers do still have Shine appointments available, and we can provide that contact information to you. So don't think that just because we're full or we can't fit you in that we can't help you out. We can certainly connect you to the right place. We can connect you with a Shine counselor so that you can make sure that you've got the right plan.
And to add to that, all of us, and usually there are between 60 and 70 of us in all the trainings, we have all the exact same training. We have the opportunity to speak to our managers at any time. So the benefits, regardless of whether it's me or anybody else, we all have the same background available. So yeah, not to be concerned about that.
So big important thing, give us a call if you're interested in making Shine appointments. We can help you either here or elsewhere. And again, Shine is available all year round, but right now during open enrollment is a very critical time for those who currently have plans who want to make sure that they're on the right plan.
Or even have a question about it.
That's right. So the good news is the senior center is always here to help you find the answers. Whether we have them, we can certainly put you in the right spot to get the answers to your questions. Alice, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to say to everyone, but
No, I think you actually covered. I just want to underline the fact that and people are struggling these days, they need extra help paying for some of their drug costs. That's a very good reason to make sure they double check with a Shine counselor, because there are programs available, and it's income dependent, but there are many different ranges of that. So that sometimes really does help people a lot. So that's just
Great.
a little add on.
And those extra help programs, is that something that they have to do during open enrollment? Or if they realize in March, this is a lot, can they reach out to you then for help?
Absolutely. Well, year round, they can reach out and we can explore and examine what the opportunities are, what the options are. And sometimes that changes. And it's not just Medicaid or Mass Health. There are other programs as well. So definitely worth checking.
Great. Well, thank you, Alice. I appreciate your
welcome.
time and coming on. And again, give the senior center a call. We can help connect you with either Alice or another Shine counselor who can help you during this time or all year round.
Very good. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So just a reminder, everyone, we don't have much time left, but I wanted to remind everyone there are COVID boosters available. Please call the health department in Hopkinton. They can help connect you to sign up for an appointment if you are looking to get your COVID booster. And last week we mentioned fuel assistance. Again, if you are a senior or a non-senior who needs some assistance heating your home, and it's not just oil and it's gas, pellets for your wood stove, whatever, please contact the senior center. Our outreach workers can help connect you and help you apply for that fuel assistance. There are income limits, and they can fill you in on that, or you'll find that in our newsletter as well. And then, Jessica, do we have anything else to add quickly before the end of the show?
I'll be very quick. You'll see in our November newsletter that should be coming out to your doors in about a couple weeks. We do have our annual Christmas sale coming up, so that'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're very excited about that. We also have a couple of new programs coming. We have a Laughter is the Best Medicine program to help get you through the winter. We have a Write Your Life Story, Leave Your Legacy program coming up. So a lot of really fun, unique things that we want to see you come out. We want to get you involved, and that's about it.
Great. Well, again, thank you, everybody. Stay safe. We hope you keep moving here at the senior center and elsewhere. And the senior center is a great place to come and see your friends, have a good meal, and join in an activity. So keep moving, everyone.